Hello. I hope this message finds you before it's too late. It's of great urgency, and it needs to get out. And what I'm going to ask you to do is very brave. There's a time coming where this message I'm about to share with you is going to be stopped from going out. The time is right around the corner. It's approaching quickly. And I need all of you who see this to promise that you will share it with as many people as you can. Because time is short. I'm going to give you the encrypted message now. Please don't let it be in vain. The message is Romans 10, 9 and 10. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Please get this message out to everyone. Thank you.
And welcome to Proverbs Guys Ministries. I am your lesser host, and we also have your better host, Achilles, with us. Achilles, how are you today?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm good.
I'd like to start today off by telling you a little joke, Achilles. Are you in for it?
Let me sit down.
All right, so there's two guys, and they're talking with God. And the first guy says, "Man, you guys aren't going to believe this, but my son traveled to Israel last week, and they threw rocks at him." And the second guy says, "Well, all right, my son traveled to Israel a month ago, and they held him down and started hitting him with sticks." And then God said, "You guys aren't going to believe this."
And he, what? Stops there?
That's it. Yeah, because he had the war story about when his son went to Israel.
Ah, okay. Ah, yeah. All right. Yes. I thought these guys knew about that, but no. Okay. No.
Well, it's too late now. All I can do.
We need to add the laughter too.
Since Achilles didn't get it.
We need to add the laughter for, when we have people here telling us that Mary needs to be worshipped. We need to have something other than this. I gotta have audio for it too.
We could get a picture. I couldn't do it. I don't have the editing skills, but you do. You could find a good quality image of a Mary statue and have her like bending her head like at a raver, kind of getting it with the music.
Ah, okay. So everybody, again, this is an completely unscheduled show. We're just a little bit backstage talking about what Trump did again under the nose of American people who voted for him to fix stuff.
Oh boy, we're getting right into that, huh?
And we were like, let's just go live, talk about it. We made a quick thumbnail. Steven did. Nostalgic too, VHS tapes. For those, yeah, I guess a lot of people don't even know what that is. For those that remember what, yeah. Children that are grown up to within the internet and they have an opinion about stuff and they don't even know like where that stuff came from. Like, I was watching a video the other day, how many people crash on stream because the new thing is to have your looking at your phone while streaming live while you're driving.
Which is really just a terrible idea.
It's so smart.
Check this out, Achilles. I don't know if you're aware of this. This is live updates from CNN 30 minutes ago. Washington, D.C. shooter leaves 2 National Guardsmen shot. Near the White House. Dude,
Wow.
This happened near the White House.
The only way I could see something like, we'll get to the next, why those towers are not falling. We'll get that. But the only way I could imagine this happening in Washington, D.C. is with a 3D printed gun. Like, how can you get a normal gun in D.C. around the White House?
I don't want to say it myself, but it's 3 letters.
ICE?
No.
Oh, you can switch those letters around and get the C first,
Uh-huh.
the I next,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the only way.
And man, it's so unnerving. I don't even know if that's a word. I think it is a word. That people are getting played so bad, and yet they support him. Not just him, the previous one and the next one. All right, it's not just him. There's no specific hatred about this one, but because people are kind of idolizing him, that's why we're attacking him more. So you guys realize that there's no trillionaire out there that is your friend. Can you please bring up? Yeah, okay. Before you go from here, let's scroll a little bit to this tragedy that is taking place right now in Hong Kong.
This one's going to open up a bigger can of worms.
We definitely need to be praying for these people. There are people still stuck in this complex.
And it's still on fire, right?
Yeah.
Golly, no.
I think I'm seeing things that fit in the end times, and a lot of people just are programmed to take them for granted. We've never seen anything like this in the past, and we're like, it's not happening in my neighborhood.
And this is happening right now. This tragedy. So far 36 dead, but it's still on fire, and almost 300 people have been reported missing. And there's a really good chance that they're not going to be found. So this is devastating.
Yep.
Now, one thing I guess we can go ahead and say is I immediately had a thought come to my mind, and you had the same thought come to your mind. And that is, these towers are on fire. It's obviously very hot. You can see it. And the towers have not collapsed.
And it's not one floor, a high floor that is on fire. It's the whole thing.
The whole building. And this has been going on for 8 hours. 8+ hours. It's been burning. And these towers are still standing.
I don't think you were around when I was on some show and I was discussing this hypocrisy that exists in the US.
Mm-hmm.
That first off, the way my brain got there is I just thought of the phrase "never forget." But it was only about Tower 1 and Tower 2. Never forget. But when it comes to Tower 7, forget. Everybody forget that one. Right? Because that's what messed everything up. I mean, we could fall for it. Like, oh, it was made like the construction the steel beams. It was all steel beams, and they melt, and then they carried the whole thing. Okay, what about Tower 7? Wasn't even touched by an airplane.
You know what? To me, the biggest smoking gun was the Pentagon. Seeing the way they claimed the plane hit the Pentagon, no plane debris anywhere.
Yeah.
Perfect explosions on both sides. No wing damage. Like 100%. Even if the towers and everything else was true, the Pentagon was a totally different story.
I
Never
just love that.
forget.
And the airplane that was supposedly heading for Tower 7, not supposedly, neither allegedly, it was heading for Tower 7. Heroes broke in and took control of the airplane. They kicked the butts of the pilots, and the airplane crashed outside DC. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And made a crater on the ground. So the aviation companies now, they've made the doors in every airplane completely unhackable. Like, you can no longer get in. It needs a password, and the password needs to be accepted from within. Like, okay, I get it. It's for terrorists. But what if the terrorists have the airplane? I mean, we have one case where some American hero, army salute and standing ovation to that man, he stormed in, kicked their butts together with I don't know how many, and they crashed the airplane, taking their lives in the process. That's a hero. But for that to happen, they somehow gained access to the door. Now it's no longer possible. Now you just sit on the back and wait. There's nothing you can do. At least back then, you could do something about it.
Yeah.
So one thing I was discussing with somewhere, I don't remember where it was. I think it's GG, so I'm not sure. That how hypocritical is it that the Never Forget lasts 20 years? Because 25 years. Because 25 years later, New York now has a Muslim mayor, who has been asked 3 times if he condemns Al Qaeda, and he never said yes. It's not just once. It's 3 interviews that they've asked him about Al Qaeda, and he doesn't condemn its actions. The reason for that being is that he's a Muslim that believes in world jihad and all that. So the Never Forget lasts like 25 years. So it should be like, don't forget for 25 years. You can forget after 25 years. How hypocritical is that, man? And how gullible are people these days?
Well, okay, so it used to be a memorial. Never forget the memorial of what happened. And Americans still agree with that sentiment. But now, with the age of technology and it turning into what it has, you really need Americans to forget, because if they really did investigation, they would find out that that was one big false flag. And that may lead them into digging back into World War II and figuring out that Pearl Harbor was also allowed. And you don't really want to see how dirty your fingernails are of your government.
And I can't forget the blessing I had when I was studying in the US. I had an American professor on American history, and I have the book right here. Thank God I picked up that book and I didn't, because as a college student, you have this tendency to sell your books used so you can buy the next ones.
Yep.
I didn't do this for American history. I'm so happy for that, and I have that book. because I could never find that book again here. So he said that there is the class was on the Mexican War. American blood was shed on American soil. The whole thing with the river that started the Mexican War and gave you California and Texas. And the Alamo happened and all that. The whole thing was a false flag. And he told me that there is not a single war in the history of the US that was on a true purpose, that it wasn't a false flag. And because it was 2005, I said, what about Iraq? And he said, well, I didn't say it. You did. And that matters because that is a statement from an American professor on an American university on the class of American history. It's not hatred. It's just how it is. It's the truth. And right now, guys, you like it or not, you're going into a new one. With supposedly the drug cartel of Venezuela, which the drugs are not coming from there. They're coming from Ecuador, they're coming from Colombia, but not Venezuela. But Venezuela has the oil and the gold. Well, we get some water here. Yeah, no. Bad guy. This Maduro guy, very bad guy.
And one of the worst parts of that is we entered Iraq under a false flag, and it messed up a lot of our guys. Like my brother went over there twice, and he is just mentally jacked up, like up and down.
Yeah.
And it for what? Because we didn't even get the oil for ourselves. We literally went to war with Iraq to prevent Russia from getting more oil, to limit them.
Yeah.
The whole war is over limiting Russia's oil supply.
Yeah, I want people to remember that about everything, especially what is happening right now with Russia. Your news are very one-sided, and they agree on that one side. They all agree that Russia is the aggressor. That is not the way it is. We, and I'll put myself there too, as a Western civilization, we have been poking this bear from every side. We've never stopped poking it. Right?
Well, I mean, and I don't really want to take us down the road of talking about Ukraine, but if you remember, we made a promise to Russia that we would never include Ukraine into NATO.
And that's the whole thing. That's what it is.
We promised that we would never expand them into NATO.
Yeah.
But we also promised that if any member of NATO went to war, all other members of NATO would also declare war. And it's interesting that even though Ukraine is a member of NATO, we haven't seen that. It isn't? It didn't get approved?
No, the thing is that in 2014, there was a coup. They locked down the building of the government, and they light it on fire, and they burned all the people in the government, and then they took over the government and turned it pro-European and entered Europe. And the next step was to enter NATO.
So I guess this was Putin's attempt at stopping it.
Yeah.
Man.
And everybody, I know there are people out there that are going to write in the chat, no, that's not how it is. The thing is just, I mean, if you have somebody who has studied something and he disagrees with somebody who hasn't studied that something, or he's afraid to study it, guess who's right? It's beyond argument. And when you have a country that has started 50 wars on false premises, why do you think this is different? That's the big question here. Like, chill, guys. It's the same old, different SSDD, or should I say SSDP, different president.
And
That's
look,
all it is.
we're not trying to get personal. We're not trying to talk about anybody's favorite candidate. We're not trying to pollute the well.
I got it. Right. But
I mean, sometimes you have to stop and question. And you have to be, why did this figure come out of nowhere around 2016 after the time FBI had already started investigating Epstein and put on a fight for his life to become president, which comes with certain perks like presidential pardons, which you can present to yourself.
are you still talking about that creep, that Epstein guy? Who is that guy? He's a creep.
Isn't this old news, Achilles?
The latest thing that I've heard about this is that the Supreme Judge, what's her name? The blonde.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Supreme Judge, I think, is her position, who was promising to lay out the files. Now she's saying that it's a matter of national security, why some names will not be revealed. So I found a funny meme, and I'm scrolling in Reddit to find it again. By the way, if you guys are on Reddit, check out r/conspiracy, and just up there, I mean, you might be able to find some stuff that are just nuts, but overall, it is American people that are waking up to the American issue that they're dealing with. So,
Oh, yeah. And we full on know that we are never going to see the Epstein files.
and it's a good place to find some news, because you don't get them in the news. So it's a recommendation from me. I'm regularly checking it out. So I can find the meme. I'm scrolling down, and there are some new things that have taken over, like the whole AI, new presidential executive order. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this. I found at least a picture that I could share here. Wait, what? Oh, I was in another browser. Darn it. All right, I'll share the screen. So first off, now, did you put it up?
Let me get back to it. There you go.
So although it doesn't give me the comment here, oh, here it is. It says, this is what the elites and our government fears the most. All right, so you see that picture?
Oh, yeah.
So those that are talking about this issue here, the right is trying to present it like it is a left thing, but it's not, because the left are also implicated in this story. The Queen, too, kings, princes, Prince Andrew, Prince, I remember his name, from Greece, one of the two sons of the ex-king of Greece, and all the billionaires that you know. So it's not a left versus right thing.
Everyone's on it.
Yeah, and we had that meme here saying everyone. So I'm looking for that meme, and I can't find it.
And that's the thing. The Democrat base is pushing because They think all the Republicans are on the list. And the Republicans are pushing for the Epstein list to be released because they just know all the Democrats are on the list. But in reality, you're never going to see the Epstein files because all of them are on the list. Everybody is on the list. All your favorite presidents, all your senators, all your congressmen, all your governors, all your FBI directors, they're all on it.
And the only thing sad about it is you having a hard time believing it, because you have such high hope in some presidents that, you know, it's like your hope dies. I mean, who told you to have hope in a billionaire? I mean, isn't that your fault?
A little bit.
I can't find the meme that I'm looking for. So there was this, it was a goose asking somebody, why is releasing the names a matter of national security? And that guy, next picture, is running away, and the goose is running after him, and it's repeating, why is releasing the names a matter of national security? I can't find it.
But I mean, that's a good question, though, right? Like, why
Right.
is it?
And it is official. She said that. What's her name? I saw her around here. I hear it. Pam Bondi, right? Isn't she Supreme Judge?
Yeah.
And it's funny how the other guy, Patel, whatever his name is, his eyes didn't look like that before becoming head of the FBI. But when he did, his eyes turned like, oh shit. I mean, I guess if we see the list, our eyes are gonna turn like Patel's. I'm pretty sure.
And did you see that interview with Theo on the Joe Rogan podcast?
I don't like Joe Rogan.
You're not gonna like him after this. Like, Theo Vaughn really threw out some good stuff, and you can see, I'll share just a little bit of it with you, but you can see how he desperately does not want to answer these things.
There's photos of Nancy Pelosi with JFK.
That was
Who's
before
that?
Israel didn't kill him.
You think so?
That's
I
Joe
didn't say
Rogan
anything.
and Vaughn.
Yeah.
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big
What?
question.
Why were they?
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you-
Well, sketchy times. You mean the same company, that company Palantir, that was doing all that
Oh,
crazy stuff
Fullscreen.
in Gaza,
Yeah.
in Gaza, and they were like, you know, the own.
What, Achilles?
Press the full screen on the video. It maximizes it on the share. What?
It makes it smaller. I don't know why it does that now, but it does.
It looks like a cell phone tilt. You're not from the phone, are you?
No, that's the bizarre part.
All right, put it back. I guess it was better.
Yeah, it was bigger.
Yep.
Crazy, right?
Doesn't
Well-
happen when I'm doing it, right?
If you pay attention, every time Theo Vaughn brings up Israel or Gaza or the Epstein files or CIA, Rogan shuts it down like he's had one of those late night visits.
Looking down and everything.
Dude, just watch. He's been compromised.
What
running
were
all
they
the,
doing?
all the drones and stuff like this.
Okay, so you mean like facial recognition data?
Right.
Do they have that capability with drones, where they could just zoom around? Listen.
Okay. So
You're right. However, China's making drones.
Theo Vaughn has officially wandered off the reservation, and Joe Rogan is not loving it. This latest episode of the JRE didn't feel like a conversation between two comedians. It felt like Theo was trying to talk about the powers that be, while Joe was desperately trying to keep everything inside Peter Thiel's Spotify approved category. And honestly, if there's one thing this interview reminded us, it's that Joe Rogan is fully compromised. For years, fans have watched the shift happen. He used to be the guy who would question everything, but now Joe's as mainstream as CNN. This isn't Joe playing dumb so he can keep huffing smelling salts and doing his stool routine at the comedy mothership. This is Joe protecting the narrative. Anytime someone brings up Peter Thiel, Joe immediately jumps to defend him and pivots to blaming Russia or China. Epstein, Joe won't touch it anymore. Instead, he throws out the safest, most sanitized talking points imaginable. Meanwhile, Theo's out here pouring out his heart.
Like now, there's a lot of like billionaire files that our government protects and stuff. But back
You
then,
really think so?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's what makes me nervous. I don't know.
I mean, they just had that thing that came out about the Trump Epstein thing the other day. That whole thing's just a kickball at this point, I feel like.
Bro, have you ever seen that video of me and Tim Dillon?
That's basically how this entire podcast
How's the weather, man? You should check out the weather. I mean, it's about to rain. Yeah, I don't like Joe Rogan, and I didn't thank that guy for exposing this. But if anybody out there thought that Joe Rogan was on your side, man, what do I do? Where do we start with you?
Well, I think that's why Americans don't want to believe it, because once it's confirmed that the right and the left are both wicked and they're both out for you, then where do you flee for safety?
What are you left with?
Right.
And the answer is way simpler than they think. You are left with the only book that told you that, and told you that this world is just going to perish, and you better start reading it.
But they don't want their hope from God.
Yeah,
anywhere but God.
I think that's where you start. When you realize that there is no man you can hope in, you either become desperate or you start researching whether you have been wrong on your certainty that there is no God. Because if there is a God, this is what he told us that is going to happen. And watching the world collapse, even if it's your government that is to blame, is different than taking part in it and hoping it will stop. So there is no fixing this. The only thing that is going to happen is this person is coming up who's going to fix a lot of stuff. He's going to bring peace. He's going to make people love each other. He's going to ask for a couple of things of you. And he's the Antichrist. So they're all actors on a stage. When they go off the stage, they do things that get classified in files. But when they're on stage, they're pretending that they're different to get your vote, and they just keep going. There are no two sides anymore. There's just one, and it's the agenda. The agenda is run by money. I mean, where do you start? It's not just the wars. Plastic, the nuclear energy of the nuclear wastes from Fukushima. They're still in the Pacific Ocean. They're all over the place. We're eating it. There's nothing we can do to stop it. The AI. Oh, okay. I think now is a good time to show them what, those that don't know, what the new executive order that Trump signed.
Do you have it?
No, okay, just bring it up.
This one actually scares me.
I don't think I can get more official than the WhiteHouse.gov. I mean, please don't tell me you think this is propaganda from that website. All right. So, in case you guys didn't notice, you paid 15% more this year for your Thanksgiving table. Yet, the AI is getting the year of their lifetimes. This new legislation comes in, and it doesn't come in democratically. Nobody can outvote this. So it was an executive order, And what is very annoying and understandable from those that now see the agenda and they see what they are, for me, it's absolutely understandable why he named it Genesis. Because you would think naming an AI initiative Genesis is a bit like the Terminator movie, but that's you. Like the Trump administration hasn't watched that movie, so they didn't know that, right? So with this, you can no longer legislate against AI. They're going to create huge data centers, which they've begun already. Like they were not waiting for the executive order; they knew it. That's why you see Jensen and Bezos and Zuckerberg in the inauguration. In an inauguration where the American president didn't have his hand on the Bible when he was taking an oath, his wife was wearing this dark hat that you couldn't even see her. And he did not swear on the Bible, but he got in position from the Christians.